We all chase greatness, right? It's the goal. But have you ever stopped to wonder what separates a flash in the pan success from a true, lasting legacy? What if being great isn't actually the final destination? Today, we're going to dig into the blueprint for building something that truly endures. Man, this quote just hits you, doesn't it? It completely reframes how we think about success. It's not some trophy you win and put on a shelf. Nope. It's a commitment, a process, something you have to earn over and over every single day. The idea that you can just get to the top and relax, this quote says, no way.
And that's exactly it. This brings us to the core idea we're exploring today. We're going to push right past the finish line of greatness, which is a huge deal on its own for sure, and ask an even bigger, more important question.
So here's the crucial point. This isn't just about a record-breaking quarter or a single-hit product or a stock price that goes through the roof. It's about building an institution, an organization that can survive its founders, that can outlast market trends, and that can thrive for generations. Now that's the real game.
Okay, so how in the world do you do that? To really get our heads around it, we need a powerful mental model. And that brings us to this core metaphor that really separates the good from the truly enduring. And that's the idea of building the clock.
The difference here is so simple, but it's incredibly profound. A time teller is a genius, a visionary, who can look at the sun and tell you the time. Amazing, right? But a clock builder, well, they create a system, the clock itself, that can tell the time long after they're gone. It's the ultimate difference between relying on individual brilliance and creating institutional durability.
And when you lay it out like this, the contrast is just stark. It's night and day. The time teller's world revolves around a charismatic hero, someone who achieves results through sheer force of will. But the clock builder, they're focused on the organization. They build an engine, a disciplined system that churns out results consistently, no matter who happens to be in the driver's seat.
So how do you actually build this clock? It's not some kind of magic trick. There's a blueprint. So let's take a look at the actual systems and frameworks that give an organization that incredible, long-lasting durability.
Now, this might look like a checklist, but it's so much more than that. This is what's called the flywheel. See, each piece builds on the one before it, creating this unstoppable momentum. It all starts with level 5 leaders, people who are humble and driven for the cause, not their own ego. Then, it's about getting the right people on the bus, confronting the hard truths, and finding your hedgehog concept, that one simple thing you can be the absolute best at. All of that together creates a culture of discipline that just gets that flywheel spinning faster and faster.
And this is where it all just clicks into place. You can see how the ideas for getting great are the very foundation for staying great. You can't be a clock builder without a level 5 leader who's building the system instead of their own brand. And you can't have a strong core ideology without a culture of discipline to back it up. See? They're really just two sides of the same coin. This, right here, is the paradox at the very heart of every single visionary company. On one hand, they are fanatics about their core purpose, their core values, that's their anchor. It never changes. But at the same time, they are restlessly, relentlessly changing everything else, their strategies, their methods, their practices. They protect the core mission, but they constantly adapt the methods. All of this requires a huge shift in how we think about leadership. It's not about being the owner, it's not about personal glory, it's about being a steward, a caretaker for something that's way, way bigger than you are. So what does a steward actually do? Well, their number one job is to leave the organization stronger than they found it. They're not building a personal legacy, they're building institutional capacity. They're obsessed with training their successors, with strengthening the culture, making sure that clock keeps ticking perfectly long after their watch is over. Let that one sink in for a second. A leader whose ego is all wrapped up in being the indispensable hero, that person is actually a threat to the company's long-term survival. Real leadership builds up the people around them, making themselves less and less necessary over time. That is a really powerful and humbling thought. Okay, so these are big, timeless principles, but why do they matter so much right now? Well, let's connect all of this to the chaotic, fast-paced, disruptive world that we're all trying to navigate today. The pressures today are just immense, aren't they? We're dealing with technology like AI changing everything, insane global competition, reputations that can be destroyed overnight, and attention spans that are shorter than ever. In this kind of environment, a fragile, leader-dependent organization isn't just inefficient, it's a massive liability. Durability isn't a luxury anymore, it's a core survival strategy.
And here's the crucial twist for our modern times. Think of AI as an accelerator. It's going to take whatever you've built and put it on hyperdrive. So if you've built something fragile, chaotic, and personality-driven, AI is going to accelerate its collapse. But if you've built something principled, disciplined, and durable, AI will accelerate its success. The foundation matters more than ever.
You know, at the end of the day, this whole pursuit is about so much more than business metrics or market share. Creating something that you believe in, something that will last long after you're gone, that adds a profound sense of value and meaning to your work and to your life. It's not just about building a great company, it's about contributing to a great story.
So I'll leave you with this one question to think about. Look at your work, your projects, your goals. Are you focused on telling the time? On getting those short-term results and being the hero? Or are you building a clock? Are you creating a durable system, a lasting culture, and a legacy that will endure? The choice is yours.